Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy JamesTheAce. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about what happened to lower level PvP. Why is lower level PvP the same 10 people essentially over and over again playing ranked queue on different characters? Why is it the same 10 people getting each other over and over again for every single league under max? Now, this is a topic that I recently wanted to bring up, specifically because the devs seem to have just completely shifted their focus on never touching low level again. And I think that the way low level kind of got left in right now is super... It's super bad. It's in a state where, like, again, I know I say it as a joke, but it is literally like the same 10, 15 people battling each other over and over again. Like, the leagues, they're not growing at all. And it's gotten to a point where the game is in like a super half-baked state. And what I mean by that is the devs will introduce a major change in the integrity of the game. For example, Arch Mastery. The whole point is to be able to use off-school moves without being able to, or without being required to spend money in the crown shop or farm a mastery, right? Spend money on or farm a mastery, which takes up the amulet slot for PvP, which is pretty annoying. So that update was, really great. However, for levels under 150 and 160 plus, we don't have pin slots on our gear. We do not have the ability to go out into PvE and farm for pins. So that system as a whole, when it comes to lower level PvP, is pretty much half baked unless you're using a 100% spell or you're using some kind of really weird setup that I am willing to bet you paid a decent amount of money for. With accuracy on your pet, or you pay to pop jewels, you know what I'm saying? And you have some weird setup where you have 100% accuracy for a second school. And even then, I really doubt that you're using an actual strategy that utilizes a second school, right? That's not something that you can easily afford another player without them spending a bunch of money, because it's only optimal to do that at max level. Any level under, you are absolutely spending money and doing some really weird crown strategy or some specifically made pet. It's just half-baked at best. And that is my main problem with what I'm about to say. So a lot of people don't know about this, or actually I'm willing to bet a lot of people don't know about this, because some people have said this to me privately. Some people have commented under things that I've been saying on like Twitter, for instance, publicly. So I do know that some people do know about this, but I'm not sure if Ratbeard being the lead developer of the game, I'm not sure if Ratbeard has said this on his stream. If he has, it's been a long time since. But basically, a small group of people that I guess have been complaining for the majority of the league PvP changes whenever those were coming out years ago. A quote-unquote small group of people had been complaining, I guess, relentlessly to the devs to not update any of low-level PvP's gear. Don't touch pins, don't touch spells, completely just full stop. And it's led us to the point now where we're basically playing a half-baked game, where you have updated integral spells, you know what I'm saying, major changes to school identity in the form of protected overtimes, protected, damage overtimes, healing overtimes. And because of this quote unquote group of people that had been complaining, like, please stop, don't touch our stuff, like, leave low level PvP out of it. We now do not have the tools or the proper utility to be able to optimally utilize these updates that still affect low level PvP. And I know people aren't complaining to the devs right now because low level PvP as a community, let me tell you, is at a point where it's just like, F it, we're done. Like, we actually don't know if, even if we complain, are they even going to acknowledge or give a crap about what we're saying? People have literally stopped complaining because they're so certain, the low level PvP community is so certain that the devs literally just aren't going to do anything. And it all has to do with this quote unquote group of people that complained to the devs that said, hey, full stop, like, don't touch our stuff. And I have no idea who these people are or what kind of group this is or how many people had been complaining. But again, it's left us in this state of the game where the game is just unbearable. You have all of these super big integral changes and all of the volatile pieces and components of these integral changes, but none of the actual utility that we should have at low level to be able to combat these changes and updates to the game. I'm pretty sure nobody watching this video right now that has participated or still does participate in lower level PvP would object to brand new gear templates, offensive and defensive and utility gear templates from however many templates that they have that they also use to craft the raid gear templates that end up coming out for the raids for max level, the offensive and defensive gear that drops from final bosses and worlds. I'm pretty sure nobody would object to having brand new 50, 60, and 100 gear. And it's sad, right? Because around the time when these people started complaining is around the time when Ratbeard and the rest of the devs made the new level 50 gear because all of the Glendemming gear went away. And then they also made Chrysalis gear, but they didn't touch level 60 gear. And then all the way up from then up until now, they have not added pins, not added new gear templates or anything like that. It has gone full stop because of this group of people that did level 60 PvP that said, hey, don't touch 60. And as a matter of fact, don't touch low level. And they've just been listening to these people. And it has, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion as well, has just completely killed lower level PvP. I don't know if you've taken a look at the queues, but it is pretty much completely dead. Again, like the same 10 or 15 people PvPing at the same time, getting each other over and over and over again, exploiting like the biggest strengths of their schools with no change of strategy whatsoever, because there's nothing else that's offered other than the next big thing. And that pretty much just happens to be like the next broken lore spell. And then whatever school gets that broken lore spell dominates PvP because low level doesn't have the tools to combat these new school identity utilities that appear on these cards. And it's just super sad to see, and it's super ridiculous. And I think that as time goes on, low level PvP is literally going to start looking like Pet Derby. Like, when is the last time you heard anyone talk about Pet Derby? Yeah, exactly. But that's pretty much why I wanted to make this video. A lot of people keep telling me, or asking me rather, when am I going to come back? Like, when am I going to put out PvP content on low level? Well, when the only way I can do 60 PvP, which is the only level that you can actually play where you can technically obtain accuracy to use spells that combat these new super good broken utilities that appear on these new lore spells and may appear on spells in the future that might be super busted, right? Is through side staff. That idea doesn't really tickle my fancy. I do not feel comfortable making a video where I'm trying to promote to people like, hey, this PvP is really fun, but you kind of got to open your wallet and spend money on this wand in the crown shop, or farm away senselessly to Mirror Lake, or no, actually, and you could only do it at 60. If you're a fan of 100 or 50, you kind of got to make a brand new pet with all of these very specific talents on it. You know what I mean? Do this, pop this pack because you need accuracy for this school and only this piece of gear. And like, no, bro, nobody's doing that. Nobody thinks that's fun. It might be entertaining for a few videos, but eventually it's just, you're not adding any value to the league itself. And as a content creator, that's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entice people to play the modes in the game that I'm playing so that we can all have a fun time together and teach people how to PvP, et cetera, et cetera. But when, you know what I'm saying, the devs are listening to people that are just like, no, don't touch my game. You know what I mean? It becomes what we've got now, which is pretty much a half-baked, unenjoyable, unplayable game that is only enjoyed or played by the tryhards or people that I guess at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really trying to like insult anybody, but are addicted. They can't let go of the game. And it really is super sad, but that is the state of the game right now. But I'm actually super curious because we don't really know who this group of people is or how many people exactly were telling the devs to stop touching low-level PvP. But for the people that watch my videos, because I know a lot of people that watch my videos participate in, have friends that do, or even still do participate in low-level PvP, would you object? Would you actually want the devs to introduce new gear templates, to add pins to lower level PvP, to actually make, you know, what is accessible to max accessible to low level PvP as well, so that we can actually play the game as like a mini max character instead of a character that's kind of stuck in time while everything changes around them, which is basically the state of the game right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and of course I will see you guys next time.